Hey everyone, Ed from New Haven, Connecticut here. Hope everybody is doing well. So I've taken a couple of weeks to think about what the next video was that I wanted to record and upload on my channel, on my turntable, that is, since you're watching it. And I was thinking to myself, it's the end of the year. I'm a guy who likes to make lists, a guy who likes to think about what took place over the previous year and make lists of what I'm looking forward to or what I want to get done or achieve in the upcoming year. So I said to myself, I'm going to make a thread. I'll make a thread and do a little recap of my experience in the VC this year in 2024. I've been doing this since March of this year, April of this year, I think. I've been having a great time, connected with a lot of folks online, conversations, even I've got to chat with some people on the phone personally, which has been great to get to know folks a little bit better. So I wrote myself a couple of questions for a thread here from my experience this year in the VC in 2024. So feel free to take this on yourself if you'd like. If not, I hope you enjoyed this video. So I'm going to answer my first question. And what I wrote to start off this thread was, what was my favorite purchase or pickup that I made this year in 2024? And as a caveat, it doesn't have to be a release from 2024 since I don't buy a lot of new stuff. It could be anything that you picked up in 2024. So what were you the most stoked about or jazzed about that you're like, I can't believe that's here. I have to have it. Well, for me, that was and Peebles, I Can't Stand the Rain, originally released on High Records in 1974. And of course, this being a little recap video, I'm going to show a good chunk of stuff that I've shown throughout the year already on my previous videos. Of course, that makes sense. Anyway, back to here. And Peebles, I Can't Stand the Rain, 1974, originally released on High Records. This is a 2009 repress on Fat Possum. Really, really pristine quality. I picked this up for pretty much mint. A classic set list that's right here. The bulk of these songs were written by Ann Peebles and her husband, Don Bryant. The big hit here, of course, is the title track. Most people think that it was a Tina Turner original, but it wasn't. She covered it. And the other big song on here that Paul Young had a hit with was I'm Gonna Tear Your Playhouse Down, which is fantastic. Just that great Willie Mitchell high record sound of mixing and production. I'm a big fan of it. Mark, I know over at Mad for Vinyl, we've talked about this. You're a big fan of this style and production as well. It came with a little essay in here. And just to read a little bit about Ann Peebles, if you're not familiar with her, it says right here, with her marvelous raw honey voice, Ann Peebles can be both tough and tender, sometimes in the same song. But whether heartbroken or joyous, righteously vengeful or disillusioned, Peebles always has a strength, a personal fire that makes each song glow from deep inside. A perfect match for Willie Mitchell's seemingly effortless productions. Certainly well said. Beautiful essay and just a phenomenal record. And the record I was most stoked and jazzed to get this year. This is Ann Peebles and I Can't Stand the Rain. Fantastic. Next question I wrote down was, what have I picked up this year in 2024 that I've played the most? This was really easy for me, and it turns out this album was a touchstone for a lot of folks there out in the VC, and once I talked about it, it really just exploded, and I've been playing it a lot, and that is Lloyd Cole and the Commotions with Rattlesnakes, originally released in 1984. So I had heard about this for years. I'm familiar with Lloyd Cole. This was really, really hard to get for quite some time, and pretty pricey. Actually, the first Lloyd Cole that I got was this one right here, their third LP, which is a UK import, mainstream, right? Pretty good, I liked it, but once I showed this in the vinyl finds, everybody was getting back to me on how I had to get Rattlesnakes, right? Brian over at Embryonic and Randall Weaver and Rob Walker Let the Music Play. They're like, Rattlesnakes, Rattlesnakes, Rattlesnakes. All right. So I'll get it. I've been looking for it. So I got it. And I have to say, it's absolutely fantastic. When I picked this up, I pretty much played it 2-3 times a day for a month straight. It might be slacking off on the playing now, but it's still really it's just the record that I played the most this year. When I got it, all I was familiar with was Perfect Skin, which gets played a lot, and Are You Ready to Be Heartbroken, the last track on side 2. But all of it is just really, really wonderful. I'm so happy to get this, and I got it for a deal, even better. Magic was in the air, everybody was talking about it, telling me to get it, and voila! I go to one of my local record shops, and there it was. And this is the inner sleeve that came. This is the Geffen US Press. Most folks have seen this before. Nothing unique here. So once again, the record that I played most this year, Lloyd Cole and the Rattlesnakes, Lloyd Cole and the Commotions rather, with Rattlesnakes from 1984. All right, So the next question I asked myself was, what pickup or purchase in 2024 really surprised me, either in a good way or a bad way? Maybe I grabbed something, I'm thinking, I'm going to like this, it's going to be pretty good, but I really, really enjoyed it, it was really great, and I picked something up and I thought it'd be pretty good, or didn't know what to expect, somebody, an artist that I knew, and I'm like, oh, this is really bad, this is really not enjoyable at all. So I got a little bit of both. So on the side of the equation where it's something that I was really, really enjoyed and was really, really good and surprised me in a good way was Jessie Coulter's LP, I'm Jessie Coulter from 1975. I don't think it's her debut, but ostensibly her debut. This has the big hit, I'm Not Lisa on it. Co-produced by Waylon Jennings, her husband at the time. And, you know, this is ostensibly a country record, but I've said it before with this record, this is like funky country. It's just very soulful, not really bluesy, but just funky. Every song has a really, really great groove on it. And she wrote every song on this record, which is just unbelievable. All original Jessie Coulter tracks right here. If I didn't know any better, I'd swear I was listening to some Delaney and Bonnie record I had never heard before. This really, really surprised me, and this is really great. And I love this, and I'm thinking some of the other VCers I've talked to either have this or should have this, might be in the warehouse. I'm thinking Mike over at MGK Boston, I'm thinking you'd like this a lot. JT over there in your record room, I'm sure you would like this a lot and familiar with it. And even Gary over at Physical Format, I'm thinking this is in the wheelhouse of all of you, and there are probably others as well that I'm not mentioning. So, but if you folks don't have this, you should check it out. So Jessie Coulter, 1975, great stuff. The other LP that really surprised me, I'd heard of this artist before, been aware of him, solo work, member of a great band, a classic band, which I still need to pick up that stuff. And this was recommended to me by our much missed friend Steve over at All the World's a Stage. I have his glass right there behind me, as you can see, when I got to sit in on one of his live streams a while back, which was fantastic. Thank you, Steve. Hope you're doing well if you're catching this. And that is Mr. Ian Hunter, and You're Never Alone with the Schizophrenic from 1979. Ian Hunter, I've been aware of for years, obviously. Mott the Hoople. Don't even own any Mott the Hoople. I'll work on that next year. But this record really, really surprised me, and Steve recommended this to me. And this is excellent, excellent. I really didn't think I would like it that much. The first side is just tremendous. Just Another Night, Wild East, Cleveland Rocks, of course appropriated for the Drew Carey theme song. Ships, covered by Barry Manilow of all people. That was actually a big hit for him. And When the Daylight Comes closes out side one. This is really, really a great record. You've got a lot of, he knows everybody, musician's musician, right? Everybody's there to help out Ian Hunter. So you've got some E Street Band members on here. You got Ellen Foley on here doing backup. John Cale is on one of the tracks on here. A great record, and I really enjoyed this much more than I thought. So thank you, Steve, for this recommendation. Ian Hunter, You're Never Alone with the Schizophrenic. So what did I buy that wasn't so good, that I was like, ooh, this really is not good at all. I was really disappointed. I've said this before. That is Debbie Harry's Rockbird right here from 1980, whatever, 84. All the pieces are in place for this to be a good record, produced by Seth Justman. Debbie Harry and Chris Stein wrote a couple of songs together, but man, this is so noisy and overproduced. It really, really suffers in a bad way from that 80s overproduction. And I love the 80s, and when that stuff works, it sounds great. The only song I knew on here before I picked this up was French Kissin' in the USA, which is a great song. It's very catchy. And it's actually the best song on the album because it's just so underproduced, if you will. The rest of it, it's just really unlistenable, which is too bad. I gave it a couple of spins. I don't even think I finished listening to it the second time all the way through, and I just couldn't take it. So enough said about that. Missed opportunity here. Debbie Harry Rockbird, getting rid of it very soon. All right, so the next question I asked myself, thanks for hanging in there, folks, is what new artist or band did I discover this year for the first time in 2024? So this was a brand new band to me, really, really beautiful. This was recommended to me over at Craig, from courtesy of Craig's Vinyl Plethora. He responded to my thread I did a while back on female artists, and he recommended I should check out The Secret Sisters. And this is You Don't Own Me Anymore from 2017. This is a really, really beautiful record. I'd never heard of Secret Sisters before, didn't know anything about them. Craig showed them as a response to that female artist thread that I put together. We chatted about this band for a little bit, and he recommended this to me, and this is really, really, really beautiful. Brandi Kyle has a hand in the production of this. This is ostensibly, once again, country, but not really. It's very mellow. It's very ethereal. It's quite beautiful and really moving in a lot of places. Really, really wonderful stuff. Here's the insert that came with it. There's the sisters there, and some family photos here on the back. And inside, you've got a lot of all the lyrics and all the production credits as well. So absolutely beautiful record. Tennessee River Runs Low, Carry Me, Kathy's Song, the title track. It's really wonderful. Craig and I talked about this quite a bit when I got it. He was thrilled that I got it, and I'm thrilled to have it. So Craig, thank you much for that recommendation. I'm going to pick up their other works as well into the next year. So The Secret Sisters and You Don't Own Me Anymore. This came out in 2017. Absolutely beautiful. All right. Next question I asked myself was, what artist discography have I been chasing down this year with like little to no success? What have I been jonesing to get? I haven't been able to get. So this one right here is an easy one for me, and that is the Go-Betweens. So the Go-Betweens right here from Australia. This is their release Tallulah that came out in 1987. It's the only Go-Betweens that I have. The songs on here that people would know if they're familiar with the band, the big hit, so to speak, are Bye Bye Pride and The House That Jack Kerouac Built. This came out on the Big Time label in the States in 87. Plain sleeve, not even lyrics, nothing. And I'm telling you, I love the Go-Betweens. I've got a CD best of, but I want more. And their vinyl is so expensive and so difficult to come across. And I think I've made jokes to like over Jack at the Vinyl Voyage and some other folks as well. It's like, look, I'd love to get this stuff, but man, I gotta like put in a new driveway next year. That is like on the list. I like to make lists, as I said. What the house needs next year is a new driveway. So do I get a new driveway, or do I buy the rest of the Go-Betweens, discography and pay a pretty penny for it? I'll think about it a little bit more, but I need that new driveway. Anyway, so Go-Betweens. That is definitely the one artist or band that I'm looking for, on the hunt for. Didn't have a lot of luck this year, but I'll keep trying to get some of their stuff as I move into the new year. And two more things. One is that as this year, even with all the new stuff that I'm getting and the music I'm listening to, I'm always circling back to artists and bands that I had forgotten about, right? So I usually will buy a stack of used LPs. I'll go through like one or two of them. And then courtesy of the good old, iPod right here, my old school iPod that I have from Apple, got about 14,000 songs in the palm of my hand right here. Pretty much my CD collection, all backed up, thank God. So I play this when I'm going to the actual office a couple days a week. If I'm working in the home office, I'll just stream it through the computer, and the playlist and songs come up, right? And so what really surprised me, what came up that I hadn't listened to in a long, long time, and who I went back to and listened to again, was Nancy Griffith. So Nancy Griffith, absolutely beautiful performer, passed away a number of years ago. This was the record or the CD that I bought first that turned me on to her. This is Other Voices, Other Rooms from 1993. It's all cover versions, and what's great about this is that it introduced me to a lot of songs and artists that I was unfamiliar with, which was great. This is how I became aware of, for example, Townes Van Zandt. She covers Tecumseh Valley on here. Three Flights Up by Frank Christian. Does a beautiful version of Boots of Spanish Leather. I know that from Dylan. But a really, really great version of John Prine, Speed of the Sound of Loneliness. Just really, really wonderful. All phenomenal covers on here. Covers Gordon Lightfoot, Tom Paxton, Pete Seeger, of course, Janice Ian. Really, really great stuff. So I circle back to this again quite a bit. And I have a bunch of Nancy Griffith on the iPod. So I made a playlist. I've been listening to her stuff quite a bit. If you're unfamiliar with her, the release that came after that is called Flyer. This is all original material that came out in '94. Really, really great record. A lot of great songs on here. Just some of the big names that she partners with on this record. Let's see here. You've got Larry Mullen Jr. is here from U2. Mark Knopfler is here from Dire Straits. The Indigo Girls are on here. Kurt Newman is on here. The Chieftains are on here. So just a great all-star cast of folks that are on here. Adam Duritz from Counting Crows, if I didn't mention him, is also on here as well. So original material, Flyer right here from 1994. I love Nancy Griffith. I haven't listened to her in a number of years, but the iPod Shuffle just brought all that back. So if you're unfamiliar with her, definitely a good place to start would be right here with these two releases right here. I have much more Nancy Griffith, but for the sense of time, that's all I'm going to talk about. And the other band that I got hooked on that I hadn't heard in many, many years is courtesy of Peter over at Music is a Journey. So once again, in response to my female response thread I did earlier in the year, he showed Shonen Knife. And I hadn't listened to Shonen Knife in 25 years. Reminds me of being young, my first apartment, hanging out with my friends. Once again, all my Shonen Knife is right on here in this iPod. And it led him to go back down into that discography. I couldn't believe that he talked about them in the video. It was great. It made me go back and listen to them again. And it led to him not only picking up all the gaps in the collection of Shonen Knife, but doing an hour-long video of the Shonen Knife discography, which was tremendous. So Peter, it's pretty great. We had a little Shonen Knife discussions back and forth. Really great. The fact that you mentioned that brought me back down that rabbit hole, listening to that music again and enjoying it and having fun with that punk power trio from Japan. And of course, I can't show it. I don't have it. Maybe I'll get a visual up there. We'll see. Shonen Knife, but they're all here, right here on the iPod. All right, that's it. Hope you enjoyed that. That's my VC thread I'm putting out there for your recap of 2024. That was mine. I hope you liked that. Once again, feel free to comment. I'm having a dialogue with a lot of great people. I'm really enjoying it. The likes are great as well. And also, I just want to say as a footnote, so I mentioned a number of channels on here, and of course, I can't mention everybody. I'm having a lot of fun. So if I didn't mention your channel, you know who you are. We already have an ongoing dialogue and interaction on a regular basis, so it's great to get to know you folks and have that connection as well. So thank you very much. It's really been fantastic, and looking forward to see what comes up in 2025. I'll put all the questions for the thread below. Feel free to engage if you'd like, either make a video or send me your thoughts via in the comment section. Fantastic. And of course, as I end with, as we all know, with everything going on out there today, there's a lot going on out there today. Let's all step back, take a moment, take a deep breath, look around us, and just remember to be kind to one another, right? It's not that hard. It's pretty simple. Thanks, folks. Until next time.